The elevator doors slid shut, trapping Isabella Carter with a stranger. He was impossibly tall, unnervingly calm, and somehow, magnetic. In the brief hum of rising floors, something stirred, a spark she couldn't name, a flutter she couldn't ignore. She had no idea that this 30-second ride would change everything. By the time the doors opened, the world felt different. Her heart raced, her mind spun, and a simple, "good morning," had become the first line of a story neither of them expected, but both couldn't wait to continue. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more romantic stories. The elevator doors slid open on the 42nd floor of the sleek glass tower, and Isabella Carter stepped in, clutching her coffee like it was a lifeline. She barely noticed the man leaning casually against the polished steel wall until the doors closed and the soft hum of a scent filled the space. He was tall, impossibly put together, with a tailored navy suit and a faint trace of cologne that made her stomach flip in the most inconvenient way. "Good morning," he said, his voice smooth, almost teasing, and his eyes, piercing yet kind, locked onto hers. "Morning," Isabella replied, her voice a notch higher than intended. She tried to focus on her phone, but she couldn't ignore the warmth spreading from the brief contact of his gaze. The elevator stopped, the chime echoing in the small space. Neither moved. "I don't think we've met," he said, a small, charming smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "I'm Alexander Gray." Isabella's heart did a little somersault. The name sounded familiar, but in the blur of her life as a rising designer, she couldn't place him. She offered her hand, more out of instinct than courage. "Isabella Carter," she said, noticing for the first time how his hand felt, warm, confident, grounding. The elevator continued its ascent, and for the next 30 seconds, silence was their companion. But it was not the awkward kind, it was the kind that made the air feel charged. Something had shifted, something unspoken but undeniable. "So, you work on the 40th? Alexander asked casually. "Yes," Isabella replied, surprised at how easily the conversation flowed. "Just moved in last month." "You?" He chuckled softly. "I'm on the 42nd. Looks like we've been neighbors all along." Isabella blinked, realizing the coincidence, and the spark that had ignited between them, felt like something out of a novel she'd once read and thought unrealistic. The elevator jolted softly, nearing the top floor. Isabella could feel a flutter in her chest she hadn't experienced in years, a mix of curiosity, excitement, and something tenderly electric. The doors opened. Alexander turned to her, a glimmer of mischief in his eyes. "Coffee sometime?" he asked, and for a heartbeat, Isabella swore she could hear the elevator hum with possibility. "I'd like that," she said, smiling. The doors slid shut behind her, leaving her staring at the polished floor numbers in disbelief. She had never expected a simple elevator ride to stir something deep inside her, but it had. And then, her phone buzzed. A message flashed across the screen from an unknown number. "I think we need to talk. Not everything is as it seems." Isabella froze, her heart pounding, not with fear, but with anticipation. Something told her this encounter was only the beginning. Isabella stared at her phone, rereading the mysterious message. She considered ignoring it, but curiosity, an old friend, won. When she arrived at the cafe Alexander had suggested, he was already there, sitting at a small corner table, sunlight catching the edges of his perfectly tailored jacket. He looked up, smiled, and in that moment, the elevator and the message felt like a distant prelude to something much bigger. "Hey," he said softly as she approached. "You got my text?" She held up her phone. "Yes, but I didn't know what to think." Alexander's smile deepened. "I just wanted to make sure you didn't think our little elevator meeting was purely coincidence." Isabella tilted her head. "What do you mean?" He reached across the table and took her hand gently. "I've been hoping to meet you for months. I've watched your designs, Isabella. Your work, it's brilliant. And I had to find a reason to meet you properly." Her chest swelled with warmth. She had expected charm, yes, but this honesty, was entirely different. They spent hours talking, laughing, discovering little quirks and shared loves, the same obscure jazz playlists, a mutual obsession with late-night pastries, and a dream of traveling to Italy together. Each word pulled them closer, building a world where only the two of them existed. When the sun dipped low, painting the cafe in gold, Alexander stood and extended his hand. "Shall we walk?" Isabella took it without hesitation. Their hands fit naturally, as if they had always belonged together. They strolled through the quiet streets, exchanging glances, soft smiles, and the kind of conversation that made the world outside disappear. Finally, they reached her building. The elevator awaited, gleaming, familiar, almost like a silent witness to their story. "See you tomorrow?" Alexander asked, voice gentle but teasing. "Yes," she whispered, feeling a thrill of certainty. "Definitely." He leaned in, brushing a kiss lightly across her temple. Isabella's heart soared. And then, just as she stepped into her apartment, she turned back and noticed a small envelope tucked beneath the door. Her name was written in Alexander's elegant handwriting. Hands trembling, she opened it to find a single card inside. "Tomorrow, we begin our adventure. Meet me at the top of the city." Isabella smiled, heart racing, not with fear, not with doubt, but with the pure, unshakable thrill of something new, something wonderful. The elevator had brought them together, but the city was calling them to the next chapter. And just like that, something beautiful was only just beginning. Months later, Isabella and Alexander stood together on the rooftop of his building, the city lights twinkling like 1,000 tiny promises. The wind tousled her hair, but she didn't mind, it matched the way her heart felt, alive, uncontained, and utterly free. Alexander handed her a small cup of hot chocolate, their fingers brushing as they held it together. "You've changed everything," Isabella said softly, leaning into him. He chuckled, resting his chin on her head. "No, you've changed everything. I just got lucky enough to share an elevator ride with you that day." They laughed, the sound mingling with the hum of the city below, a rhythm all their own. Then Alexander took a step back and gestured toward the skyline. "I thought we could start a little tradition. Every year, we watch the city from up here. Just us, and the lights, and everything that's ahead." Isabella smiled, heart swelling with warmth. "I'd like that. More than anything." They stood together, watching the lights flicker, holding hands as the night stretched around them. No shadows, no danger, just two people, two hearts, and the infinite possibilities that had begun with a simple, shared elevator ride. And somewhere in the distance, the city whispered, this was only the beginning.